Hey, what's going on, gang? CJ Curry here, back with another PrizePicks video. I missed you guys yesterday, but hey, there wasn't really a lot of early value that I was loving, and so I didn't force a video. And you will never see me force a video unless I find something that I absolutely love. I care about your pockets more than my own. I mean, it hurts me, hurts my pockets when I don't post here on YouTube, to be quite frank. But I'd rather not post at all than to just post to post. So hopefully you guys respect that. And we'll look to get back on the winning track. We've been pretty hot, 6-1 over our last couple of videos. Taking a look at a quick recap from the last video, we had Kevin Durant going over 28.5 points. Obviously, he smashed that against the Portland Trail Blazers, as we were hoping, and finished with 40 points in that game. And we also took Drew Holiday under 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And even though Kristaps Porzingis was an unexpected DNP, he did not play for Boston. And even though that game went to overtime, Drew Holiday still managed to stay under 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists. So congratulations to you if you decided to tail those two picks. Hopefully you did. Hopefully you've been tailing the picks over the last couple of videos. As I mentioned, we've hit in 6 out of our last 7 picks. So what do we have in store today? Well, we'll get to that in just a minute. But before we do, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Slap that like button for me. Share the video, share the channel with a friend. Guys, we are on our way to 20,000 subscribers. That's right. And as I mentioned before in one of my previous videos, if we get to 20,000 subscribers by January 1st, my 3-year anniversary on YouTube, I'm gonna give somebody out there $1,000 out of my own pocket. $1,000. Who could use some free dollarooskies? Let me know. Let me know down in the comments section below. All right, as far as picks go, got a couple lined up for you today. I've been digging around on props.cash. I've been digging around on the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer, and I think I found a couple of solid ones. So let's start things off here with Desmond Bane of the Memphis Grizzlies. He's at 35.5 points, rebounds, and assists, and he's going to be taking on the Indiana Pacers. Now, obviously, we know Ja Morant is back for the Memphis Grizzlies. His first game back, he looked fantastic. I got to give it to him. Ja looked like he did not miss a beat whatsoever. So let's start things off with the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer on this Desmond Bane pick. We want to know if this is a plus EV play, because we want the odds, the juice to be in our favor, the wind to be at our back, so to speak. We want to go with the current and not against it. In this case, when we look at Desmond Bane's points, rebounds, and assists line at 35.5 PRA, what you're seeing here is that this is a plus EV play for Bane to go under. 52.81% chance. Now, 52.81% is a far cry from a 100% chance. You're just not going to find any picks on PrizePicks or anywhere else for that matter that are a 100% chance to hit. There are no guarantees. There are no locks. We know that there's risk involved with taking these plays. So make sure that you're betting responsibly. 1 to 5% of whatever's in your PrizePicks account, all right? Your total bankroll. Only risk 1 to 5% per entry. That would be a good rule of thumb. But anyway, Desmond Bane here, you're already seeing him at 34.5 PRA on a site like FanDuel. FanDuel's got him a whole point lower in this case. And so that's kind of an indication to me that maybe PrizePicks is just a little bit too high at 35.5 PRA. So now that we know that it is a plus EV play, that he's a betting favorite to go under at 35.5 points, rebounds, and assists, I pulled up some game logs here. Now, we had to kind of dip into some game logs from last season. Had to go back to last season and rely on that data because there's just not a whole lot of data with Desmond Bane playing alongside of Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson. And so when we go back to last season, what you're taking a look at here is a total of 13 games, I think. And then in those games, you can kind of see what we've got going on here. We got games played with Ja Morant, with Jaren Jackson, without Steven Adams, because he's out for the season, and without Brandon Clark. And so this is what you're left with here. Now, with this sample size, you got a total of 1 game from this season, which was that last game that they played together against the New Orleans Pelicans, where Desmond Bane finished with just 27 points, rebounds, and assists. But overall, looking at the last season games and the 1 game from this season, total of 13 games, just a out of 13 hit rate. 3 times he's gone over 35.5 points, rebounds, and assists. So that means 10 out of 13 times playing alongside Morant and Jackson Jr., he's actually gone under this number, which is good for a 77% hit rate. Now, when you take a look at what Desmond Bane has done at home, they're going to be playing in Memphis in this case. The hit rates there for last season and well, this doesn't really include any games from this season, but you got a total of 6 games. He's only gone over in 2 out of 6 games. So you're looking at about a 67% hit rate of him going under, averaging about 36.2 points, rebounds, and assists. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. Like I said, we're having to try to rely on last season's data. Unfortunately, there's just not a lot of games this season. Only one, in fact, in which he's played alongside of Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. But we kind of take a look at this matchup here. We do have some DVP information. We go over to the shooting guard position. We're looking at the last 7 games, and we're going to go over to the FanDuel or fantasy score column, because that's just going to give us a good overall idea of how the Indiana Pacers have been guarding against the shooting guard position. And when we do that, you can see they're giving up about 23.2 points, only 4.8 rebounds, and about 4.1 assists. So you're kind of looking at about 32 roughly points, rebounds, and assists given up to opposing shooting guards over the last 7 games. So it's not the easiest matchup in the world for Desmond Bane going up against Indiana. They've done a pretty good job at guarding the shooting guard spot. So now that we kind of know like the hit rates based on a lot of games from last season, we kind of know that the matchup's not a great one. We could also take a look at some projections. And for these projections, we're going to go over to Fantasy Labs and their action projection tool. And we just type in Desmond Bane's name under the points, rebounds, and assists category. And when we do so, you see he's projected for about 34.8 PRA. So by no means is it an over projection. At 35.5 line on PrizePicks, it's actually an under at 34.8. Even if we round this up to 35, 35 is not 36. And as long as he doesn't have 36 points, rebounds, and assists, we're in good shape for the under. I got a second projection for you. We're going to go check out a different projection model. This one here is provided by RotoWire. RotoWire's got him projected for about 35.6, so right around that 35.5 number. Again, not a huge over projection by any means, not a 36.5, 37.5, 38.5 projection. So I'm okay with this projection at 35.66, and we're going to check one more projection. This one's going to be provided by a site called LineStar, and when we type in Bane's name on LineStar's actually got Bane all the way down at a pathetic little 29.2 points, rebounds, and assists. So they think he's going to be hovering right around 29 to 30 PRA in this particular game against Indiana. So there's 3 different projections from 3 different projection models that would suggest you take the under on Desmond Bane. Historically speaking, like I mentioned, Bane has just went under and under time and time again. And let's hope that this matchup against Indiana proves to be a tough one for him and that he stays under. If you're not playing on PrizePicks yet, guys, use promo code Curry, make that first deposit. They're still matching you 100%, all the way up to $100. You just use the special link that I left down in the description of today's video, make that first deposit, and again, you're gonna get a deposit match all the way up to $100. Take advantage of the offer today. All right, taking a look at this second pick here, which is Coby White. He's been we'll call him a darling lately. Coby White, Derek White, the White brothers. They're not really brothers, but hey, they've been helping us cash quite a bit this season, especially over the last several games. Coby White's sitting at 10.5 rebounds and assists. So we're gonna go back to the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer here. We'll clear out Bane's name. And right up here at the top of the optimizer, you've got Coby White sitting at 10.5 rebounds and assists at almost a 54% chance for him to go over. Again, 54% is not 100%. There's always risk involved. It's not guaranteed that he's going to actually go over 10.5 rebounds and assists. But this is just one data point that we look at. We're going to look at some other data points. But before we do that, I just want to point out that he's all the way up at 11.5 rebounds and assists. So FanDuel Sportsbooks, FanDuel's lines makers have him a whole rebound and assist higher than where he currently sits on PrizePicks and the rest of the sportsbooks at just 10.5. So that's a good sign, the fact that he's a whole rebound and assist higher. So let's take a look at some game logs here. Now, what I've done using props.cash, if you're not using props.cash, you want to sign up for it, you could get 25% off your first month. I've left a link for you guys down in the description of the video. Use code Curry at checkout and save that 25%. But what I've done here with props.cash is I've included games where Kobe White's played alongside of Nikola Vucevic, DeMar DeRozan, and where he's played without Zach LaVine. And when we look at these game samples, we've got a total of 10 games in which those players have been in and out of the game. He's actually gone over this in 7 out of 10 games. That's a 70% hit rate, which is a fantastic hit rate if you're talking about player props. For me, normally I look for props that are hitting at about a 60% clip or higher. So right here, we're getting a 70% hit rate on Mr. Kobe White on these 10.5 rebounds and assists. That's a 12.6 rebounds plus assist average over that 10-game span. Now, things get a little bit sweeter here. When we take a look at splits, you guys have heard me talk about splits in previous videos. You've got home splits, you've got away splits, you've got splits where a team's been resting for 2 days. You got splits where a team has had 0 days of rest. So in this case, I want to look at the home splits for Kobe White, because in this scenario here, where he's playing at home without LaVine, with Vooch, and with DDR, Kobe White has gone over 10.5 rebounds and assists in 4 out of 4 home games this season. 15, 14, 12, and 12, averaging 13.3 rebounds and assists. Now, the matchup is a good one. The San Antonio Spurs ranked 27th in points allowed, which means more assist opportunities should go Kobe White's way. In fact, they ranked 29th in total assists allowed, giving up about 29 assists per game to opposing teams. That means there's only one team in the NBA that's allowing more assists to opposing teams than the San Antonio Spurs are. So as far as matchup goes, it's a pretty strong one. And then they ranked 28th in total rebounds allowed, giving up over 46 rebounds per game to opposing teams, which means there's only 2 teams in the league giving up more rebounds to opposing teams than the San Antonio Spurs are. So as far as rebounds and assists go, very plus matchup here for Kobe White. And of course, he's got all the hit rates and all the green. That's looking really, really good here on props.cash, hitting in his last 5 games. All right, so now that we know what we know, we're gonna go take a look at some projections for Kobe White. So we're gonna go back to props, or Fantasy Labs in this case. Just type in Kobe White's name and you can see that he's projected for a whopping 13.3 rebounds and assists. That's nearly 2, almost 3 actually, whole rebounds and assists higher than where his line is currently sitting at PrizePicks at 10.5. So this projection is obviously a very good one, suggesting we should be thinking about taking the over instead of the under. Now, we're going to take a look at a second projection here. Remember, projections are just one piece of the puzzle. Making sure that you're playing a plus EV play, making sure that the projections are on your side, making sure that the game logs are also looking good, that the matchups are looking good. These are just numerous data points that you should be considering when you're doing your player prop research, things that you should be taking into consideration in your prop research process, okay? So this second projection on RotoWire has Kobe White projected for 10.6. So a little bit of a lower projection, a little bit more of a conservative number, but that 10.67 has him closer to 11 than it does 10. And so I think we'll be fine here with taking Kobe White for more than 10.5 rebounds and assists. So those are your 2 picks. I would go more on Kobe White here. And then pair him up with Desmond Bane. You could take these in a 2-pick power play. You could go ahead and put these into a larger entry size. Maybe you're more of a 6-pick entry style player. Hey, feel free to sprinkle these into a 6-pick or a 5-pick and flex it if you want to. The choice is yours. Really, how you assemble these puzzle pieces is completely up to you. Everybody's got their own way of playing, which is why I never really try to push or force, you should play these like these on anyone. I mean, do what you want to do with the picks that I provide here. But hopefully you're liking them. And if you are liking them, let me know down in the comment section below which picks are your favorite. Do you like either one of these? Neither one of these? Maybe there's another pick that you already have your eye on. I'd love to see what you guys are thinking about playing today. Leave a comment down in the comment section below. Good luck tonight, and we'll catch you in the very next video. Peace out, guys.